Welcome once again to our video series covering Softdial Contact Center from Sytel. In this video, we will show you how to use the log files created by Scripter Designer to check that your script is behaving as intended, and if not, how to go about troubleshooting the script. Using the script we created in the IVR 103 video, we'll take you through the designer log file to track the script execution, explaining the log file entries as we go. Let's remind ourselves of the design spec for the IVR 103 script. In this script, we greet the caller with good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on the time of day. Then we play a welcome message, followed by the menu message, for example, enter 1 for sales, 2 for service. We then play a message confirming the caller's response and end the call. We'll relate the log file entries to the script design we created in Scripter Designer. Here's the main script layout for IVR 103. You will recall that this script contains a subscript, which is the welcome step. Here is the script layout contained in this subscript. In order to generate a log file for this exercise, we have run the script in a test campaign and made an inbound call to activate the IVR script. We have entered 1 at the menu prompt. Now we'll display the log file that was generated and examine the script flow alongside the designer layout. The Scripter Designer log files are located in the logs scr2 folder. The left-hand column of the log contains the date timestamp. The first 2 digits are the date, followed by the hour, minute, seconds, and milliseconds for the entry. This is followed by a thread identifier entry, which is included to assist developer debugging. At the top of the log file, there is an entry that indicates whether the log file is a continuation from a previous log file. If so, this will show the part number of the previous log file. For example, rollover from part 2. This is the first log file for this script, so there is no rolled over file. The next entries show the software version numbers and the campaign details for the log, followed by the agent logon details for the live or virtual agents servicing the campaign. In this case, we can see we have one IVR or virtual agent with its system-generated identifier. Next, we have log entries showing the session IDs created for the virtual agent, followed by a run session line that contains the session ID for the session that has been started. Notice that there are 2 identical entries of the session ID. You will see later that the first of these relates to the main script session and the second relates to any subscript session. There is no active subscript at this point, so both entries show the main session ID. The next item in the run session line is the identifier of the agent currently handling this session, followed by an entry showing the path of the configuration details for the current step, start.xml. Now we move on to the log entries relating to the script steps. Every step generates a begin step line, a step properties line, and an end step line. All of these show the agent handling the step and the session identifiers, together with some other information relating to the step. The begin step line includes an internal identifier for the step, in this case logic 1 step 1, an internal step name, start script, and the name of the step as shown on the step icon in the designer. The external step name will reflect any edits to the default name that have been made in the designer. The step properties line details various internal properties for the step. The end step line contains the outcome value that determines the flow of the script, in this instance, next. Next, we have the first line of the read text file step, and we can see that the script progresses successfully through this step to the extract XML step, and from there to the welcome subscript step. The subscript generates a new run session entry, as in the main script, and notice that the second session identifier is now different to the first. This is the session ID for the subscript, and this is a convenient way to check whether the log lines you're looking at relate to the main script or to a subscript. The subscript proceeds in exactly the same way as the main script through its start script step to the decision branch step, which has the internal name switch step. We can see that the decision branch step generates the outcome morning. This was generated by the time of day system field used as the input and output for the step. We can see from the log timestamp that the time is 8:52 a.m. This output directs the script to the play file step, which plays the good morning audio message. Notice that this step also produces a step message entry in the log file. These messages are generated to provide additional information that may help in debugging a script. Here it shows that we are playing the good morning recording file. Any steps that result in an API message being sent back to CallGen from Scripter also create a log entry containing the message that has been generated. The play message entry shown here tells CallGen to play the recording file with the symbolic name good_morning, seen here in the SDMP RF recording file parameter. When the recording file has been played, the success outcome is generated, and the script proceeds to the next play file step, which plays the welcome recording. The success outcome of this step directs the script to the success exit script, which ends the subscript session. Remember that the exit code set on a subscript's exit script step becomes the outcome of the subscript, and we can see this in the end step line of the welcome step. Notice too that the session identifiers are now both set to the main session ID. The success outcome of the welcome step directs the script to the play file and capture step in the main script, and we can see the step message indicating that the menu recording is being played. The next line shows the play capture API message that was sent to CallGen. The parameters of this message reflect the settings we made in the play capture script step. Digits low, digits high, valid digits, terminating digits, capture timeout value, and the name of the recording file to be played. Notice that there are two step props lines for this step, one for the play part and one for the capture part. The step message shows the status of the step, 0 means success, and the number of digits captured, which in this case is 1. The success outcome of the play file and capture step directs the script to the next decision branch step, which uses the captured digit as an input and output. The end step line shows that the value captured was 1, which routes the script to the play option 1 play file step. When the option 1 recording has been played, the script proceeds to the hang up call step. Notice that this step generates a start wrap message back to CallGen, which results in the call being terminated and the agent put into wrap. The end call transaction step ends the call session and sends a transaction complete message back to CallGen containing the agent outcome value, 105, as configured in the step. The message also releases the agent handling the session, as we can see from the status message. Finally, the script proceeds to the end script step, which ends the main script session. The log file shows how the script behaves for a specific time of day and user response. To check the behavior for all conditions, it can be rerun with different conditions. For example, you could adjust the system clock on the server to check the behavior at different times of day, and enter various digits at the menu prompt to check that correct messages are being played. Examining these log files can be very helpful in troubleshooting a script that is not behaving as intended. You will be able to see from this where the script is deviating from the intended behavior. The diagnostic process can be made much simpler with careful configuration of failure paths and routing these to exit script steps with meaningful exit codes. For more information on Scripter Designer or any other Softdial Contact Center product, visit Sytel.com or see the other videos in this series. Thank you for watching.